in the interview before, he was focused on the weekend, changes about his team selection, and I just felt as if Rangers, they felt as if they were coming here tonight to win this game. It was never going to be as easy as that, and Motherwell have shown.
Yeah, they did go down to 10 men, Motherwell. It didn't affect them in the end, but it took a little look at the monitor for this one to be given, but ultimately, was it the correct decision?
Yeah, I mean, I was watching it live. Fadinger has no chance of winning the ball here for me. I thought that it was, late. You look at the speed he goes into. For me, it's endangering an opponent.
Contact
and also,
as well, really.
The point of contact's above the ankle. And that's the criteria, it meets quite a lot of the criteria. But even in the eye test, as soon as you saw that back, you're like, that's a red card. He's going to be sent to the monitor. There's going to be, no time of looking at it. It's a red card, and it's a deserved red card. One thing I will say is Fadinger this season has been absolutely outstanding. For
even tonight,
outstanding. And
he'll be a big miss there.
It'll be a huge miss. Elliott walks off at half time as well. I hope that that's precautionary because another big player. But look, this team have shown the manager can make 5-6 changes a game. Doesn't seem to impact him. You look at the subs coming on. Chris is talking about Rangers and the lack of impact. They're all coming on to try and make an impact in the game, which they did. But on the red card, absolutely no complaints. It's a red card all day long.
Yeah, they did get themselves back into it though, Motherwell, and you probably couldn't write it that the goal scorer was Stephen Welsh doing his current team and his parent team a favour in the one strike. But when Björn Olsen came on, I mean, he's a big tall guy. He had a great chance before, but he plays a big part in this.
But as I said, you look at Rangers, like, as soon as that ball goes into the box, first of all, you've got an extra man. Why is there no pressure on the ball and intensity? Why it's Rangers dropped off that are well inside their 18-yard box when that ball's coming in. When you look at the back post, is it Sterling? I think. Yeah, I think it's Dujan Sterling at the back there. Then all of a sudden, the defending, they're too deep.
They clear the lines on the first pass.
Yeah, but you look, Suter, yeah, okay, but they've got to move across. You've got to move across the stop there and stop the shot getting in. As I said, take nothing away from Stephen Welsh. I said at half time, when you hit that ball on the ground, it gives the goalkeeper virtually no chance of saving it because it will slide off the ground. All of a sudden, he has to get down low to get away. Worst case scenario, if he does get there, it's coming back out and one of your teammates getting back out. When you hit those, people always say, you can hit it too clean, you can't because it'll end up the back of the net. But you know what I'm saying? Like, when you look at Chinmate in the first half, it's I want to get contact with it.
Even
Stephen Welsh is just into the ground.
Long when it goes in, when you go on the side foot, you think it's control, which it is, but you have more chance of hitting it straight. Whereas when you're hitting it into the ground, it's about the power and taking it away for the goalkeeper, and it doesn't have to be the absolute cleanest strike. You just need to get a decent contact on it, and sometimes they go in. But
I think when you look at Rangers' defences as well, and it's not just Rangers' defence tonight, but in general nowadays as well, like nobody wants to get touched tight by a man. Nobody wants to get tight to him. And I get the fact that you might not have the same leeway because of Varzer as well, but you've still got to get tight to your man. You've still got to get close to him. I mean, even at the moment of the game, you know that Motherwell are pushing, and the first pass goes back to Sam Nicholson, and they try and clear the box, which you do. If the ball goes back, you step up as a back line, but then they go back and like 2 or 3 go back. Yeah. They don't really have that intensity that you're not scoring. You go up and you either leave everybody in or you make sure you get goal side. They go the other side and then they're scrambling to get back and then they're ball watching, the ball comes back and Welsh is alive to it. But look, it's no less than Motherwell deserved. And special mention, Sam Nicholson has had a horrendous time with injuries, so to come on and have an impact and have a part of the goal, well done to build. They were the side that were in control. And then you've got the players coming out and saying they're disappointed and with the start, and you felt as though Rangers couldn't get near them. I mean, I just think it's amazing. For a Motherwell side to be have the players come out and say it, but what you're watching a team that are controlling games. Okay, look, I know people say it's a draw, you're getting carried away by a draw, but it's the manner in which they go and approach these games. There's no backward step. Not even, you go down to 10 men. There's no. I know they're a goal down and you have to go for it, but there's no backward step. There's no dent in the belief within the group, and even you are gambling. Regan Charles Cook coming on at left back. He just comes on and gets on with his job.
gets forward, gets back. And I just think that it's a brilliant place. You look at the stands in here. I mean, that tells you everything you need to know. It's packed out, and week on week, I'm sure that's getting higher. There's a real patience with the team because they know what they're getting every single week. It's not a guarantee you're going to win games, but you know you're going to get a team that know exactly what they're doing, believe in everything they're doing, try and play football, and not the right way, but they try and play to their strengths. Every single person involved buying into it, and I think that is a big indicator for me as it stands. There's no frustration. You see what it means, and again, people say celebrating a draw from how the game panned out, going a goal behind, going a man down to get back and score a late equaliser. Absolutely, you're celebrating a draw because it's vindication of how you play the game. Fantastic performance, and I love to hear that the players are saying, disappointed they couldn't go and win the game, and I totally agree with them.
It was Rangers who took the lead, and everything that James has spoken about, the way that Motherwell play, Rangers certainly did it for this goal, all the way from back to front, straight through the middle, and a lovely finish at the end as well.
You're right, Ellie, but what I would say from a Rangers point of view, it was probably the only time they put 7, 8, 9 passes together that allowed them to build through the thirds, and then brilliant from Diamondi. You could see his first thoughts get forward. I thought, at the start there, great run from Chimete, Raskin with a lovely time run. You can see here Stephen O'Donnell just gets caught. He has that little glance, and then he realises, I need to go with him because I've not got, he's not going to be offside. It's a great run. The Chimete one thing causes the chaos between the two centre backs, and once Raskin gets in there, we spoke about it before the game and at half time. I do feel as if he can offer Rangers so much more in that more advanced role. I think he can play as the six, but it doesn't suit him. I feel as if the energy, his willingness to go and close down, his willingness to get forward, and
imagine how good he'd be in the Motherwell team.
but I think when you look at Nico Raskin, for me, I think it was maybe last year when there was rumours of big moves and everything, and you were questioning what type of money can Rangers command from, because his assists and his goals weren't at the level that you thought that the modern day midfielder was at, but he is starting to add them to his game. I think coming into this round of fixtures, he had created the most opportunities in the Premiership, so I think that there is more to him, and I do feel as if he can give Rangers more in that more advanced role. But I mean, as I said there, you look at Rangers, it was probably the only time they put those passes together. After that, I mean, Motherwell just looked at the team. It was
it's not even really the passing, it's the intensity. Diamandi breaking the lines, Raskin bursting to get forward, making the run. It's decisive, and it cuts Motherwell open.
Why just that one time? Is that down to something that Motherwell perhaps changed in the game, or is it something the Rangers within themselves dropped a little bit?
I think I've said it for a while. I mean, Rangers have been winning games, but I know when you look at the Kilmarnock game and the Queen's Park, there's a lot of goals scored there. Kilmarnock, in that first 45, 50 minutes of that match, I know they were down to 10 minutes as well, had large chunks of control of the game. Rangers didn't look, they were hitting them in the counter-attack, they caused them problems. The second half, yes, when you look at the end result, it's like, yes, Rangers ran away with it. There tonight, as I said, you look at the substitution. Interesting what Danny Rowe says. I don't think he got the impact that he wanted from his substitutes. Yes, he'll say maybe went a little bit more braver with 2 strikers and trying to get it forward. That didn't really work either. And then the Motherwell goal, it's well worked from Motherwell's point of view, but sometimes I always feel when you've got the 2 defenders there, sometimes even that can cause you problems when you're playing against one, because you always look at it and think, right, who's picking up the man? Who's the one that's spare? But when you've got 3 doing that, all of a sudden it's just, that's okay, my teammate will do it. And when you look at the goal that Motherwell will score, I don't think John Souttar gets close, De Jager doesn't get close, and it will be a frustration from Danny Rowe, because having not played well, coming to a ground where you felt as if it was going to be a really difficult evening, Rangers were on the verge of leaving here with 3 points, which would have been huge in the context